Okay, Gone Freaks is my favorite MC, is what I would say if I was a psychopath. No, but for real though, no hate to Gone, but dude's a little messed up in the head. He's not a bad main character, but he's not my favorite. But yeah, so I'm gonna be talking about my favorite main character of all time in anime. Okay, and there are many. There are many great characters. Just to list a few of them: Itadori, Asta, Luffy, Naruto, damn near any JoJo MC. This is just from shows I've seen, obviously. Light Yagami, Lelouch, you know what I'm saying? A lot of great characters, and I'm just gonna kind of breeze through them and see which one that I personally, I guess you could say, relate to the most and just like the most. I've never really thought about it that deep because I just watch the shows and I more so look at which show I like more, but not which main character I like more. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. Obviously, as I said, Goen is not my favorite MC. I had to come in with some sort of hook sentence like they taught me in middle school, and I figured that that one wouldn't be so revealing because I don't feel like Goen is a lot of people's favorite MC. Personally, I just feel like he's not. But if we're just looking at strictly new gen, just to eliminate a lot of the characters out of the way, it would probably for me be between Asta and Itadori, just strictly new gen anime. By new gen, I'm looking at My Hero, Black Clover, Jujutsu Kaisen, Promised Neverland. These are just from shows I've seen, by the way. Dr. Stone. Oh God, I really like Senku too, though. Okay, well, let me eliminate some. Let me get a list out really quick, and let me just eliminate some people. Okay, so just eliminating some people. I'm eliminating Rudius from Mushoku Tensei. Great character. I haven't seen enough of him yet. Eliminating Deku. He's great, but I haven't seen his potential yet either. I'm eliminating Takamichi just because I am not caught up on Tokyo Revengers, but I heard he gets kind of crazy. But I'm eliminating him for right now. Eliminating Boruto, even though he definitely has potential to be a top tier. Get Bam out again. Haven't seen his potential yet. Seven Deadly Sins is not really new gen, but Meliodas is out of there too. While I do like Tanjiro a lot, and as I said in my Demon Slayer versus Jujutsu Kaisen video, I feel like Tanjiro is more deep. I do like Itadori more. So I'm taking Tanjiro out of here. As I said, Gon. So that leaves me with a couple. Subaru from ReZero. While I do think the show and his character is developing, definitely couldn't see him being my favorite MC, so I'm gonna take him out. Saitama, I haven't seen enough of him. As I said, I'm just taking these characters off the list. Goku, again, haven't seen enough of him. Okay, so now for me, looking at the JoJo characters, while I like all of them, I could definitely see none of them being my favorite main character of all time either. Again, as I said, I'm just trying to eliminate a lot quick so I have a little list to kind of go off of. So no JoJo characters. So now I'm left with really Naruto, Light Yagami, Thorfinn, Kaneki, Lelouch, Luffy, Ichigo Itadori, Senku, Asta, and Edward, and Eren, and Mob. Okay, so while Mob, I'm just going to start off, and there's also Spike and Mugen from Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, but I couldn't see them being my favorite MC either. So I don't know if I should just list these off in like a top 5 format or just kind of state my favorite and try to deduce who's my favorite MC of all time. I think I'm just going to try and figure out who's my favorite of all time. So I'm going to start off with Mob. Mob is a S tier main character, right? Like he really is. I don't know what it is about him, but he is definitely an S tier main character. But the only problem with him that I have right now is that I feel like his character has a lot of development, but not a lot of depth. Does that make any sense? I feel like he is developing a lot, and I love the development that I've seen with his character, but I don't feel like his character has enough depth for me to call him my favorite main character. So I'm gonna take him out. So there he goes. Next, I'm gonna look at Eren. Okay, Eren has had some of the most insane development that I've ever seen. And his character as a whole, I've never really not liked his character. And with season 4 especially, I haven't read it, but from what I've seen, he is just an absolute menace. And I really love the villainous type of role he's taken. So he's going to stay in this running. Next, looking at Edward, right? From what I remember of FMAB, Edward was always, with Full Metal, and I feel like this also pertains to like all of its characters, the show is just like a perfect show. It is like an A+ show. I was talking to a couple of my friends about this earlier. It is an A+ show, but it's not like there are shows with like S tier moments and like S tier characters. And I feel like Edward is A+ character, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as a whole is an A+ show. Damn near like it is like perfect. Like it doesn't exceed it though. Like there's shows that exceed it into like godly. There are shows that exceed that like A+ rank into like god status. You know what I'm saying? Like A+ is obviously a 100%, But then there are some tests that you can get extra credit on and get like 106%. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Full Metal Alchemist is just like that 100%, and it doesn't exceed that. And I feel like that's how Edward is as a character. I feel like he's kind of like a perfect MC, but he doesn't exceed that range. Like for me, Aaron, there are many moments, especially recently, where he has exceeded that A plus tier because of from where he started to where he is now. And that development and that depth to him and the story, it is just mad. You know, so with that being said, I think I'm going to take Edward out. While I really like his character, I couldn't see him being my favorite MC, you know, and I feel like a lot of people can agree with me with that Full Metal Alchemist thing. Like, it's a perfect show, but it's not like that extra credit type of show. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, right? So right now, Mob and Edward have been eliminated from this sort of second elimination round. Next, I'm gonna look at Asta, right? Asta, I love Asta. And I love, because obviously a lot of characters, almost damn near every shonen MC has that never giving up mentality, but Asta does it in a way to where it actually applies like to my real life. Like whenever I think of like exceeding my limit, you know what I'm saying? Surpassing your limits, I always think of Asta, because Asta does it in a way to where like he genuinely, all he had was his work ethic, right? He wasn't really given his power. Obviously his power awakened within him, but he was always under the impression that he genuinely had nothing at all, which is kind of the same with Deku, but Deku was handed it to him, right? Like Deku didn't expect it, but Deku wasn't in a position to where it was like life or death, right? Asta's shit awakened in a life or death situation where he kind of like needed it, right? But with Asta, he was always under the impression that like he could not do it, but he still was going to do it. With Deku, he just wanted to do it really badly, but he knew he didn't have the means necessary for it, and he was waiting for it to come. So then he could do it. Does that make sense? And that's why I like Asta more. And I feel like he's gonna stay in this position. He's gonna stay in the running for now because I really appreciate that from him, and it really adds and it really like reflects onto me personally. Now, next up, I got Itadori. Itadori, I think, is a cool ass character, but the only problem is he has not gotten enough development yet. And I feel like that's just, I'm gonna have to take him out due to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like his character and I really like the direction the show's going. And I heard he becomes an absolute threat. I heard he becomes really scary. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't see myself making him my favorite main character as of right now. So I'm just gonna have to take him out. Next, we got Senku, right? Now, Senku, I really like Senku, and the reason why I really like Senku, he is a different type of main character, and he has a different sort of depth to him than these other main characters. Like the way in his position, he is like the smartest person, and he is rebuilding society from the ground up himself. I don't care if he has all the help in the world, shit wouldn't be happening without him. And I just really like his determination with it. But I mean, other than that, that's really all he has. And he's just really cool too. You know what I'm saying? He's just a really cool character. But other than like that determination and his smarts, while he is a really cool character, because I gotta base it off just like how much I like their personality too. Like I think he has a really cool personality. I don't think he's my favorite. He's up there for sure, but he's not my favorite. He's definitely not my favorite. So I'm just gonna take him out now. So as of right now, Asta, Aaron, and then a couple others were eliminated. So next I'm going to Ichigo, right? Ichigo, coming from, I love me some Bleach. If you haven't seen Bleach, watch Bleach, underrated, right? I love me some Ichigo, man. I really do. I love me some Ichigo. Damn, I really like Ichigo. I really, really like Ichigo. I'm thinking about it, like he really didn't do anything in that whole show that I really was upset with. Like I never really got upset with his character, and his character was just like personality wise and like with the way the show was structured, it was just like he was a perfect fit for a main character, and he didn't do too much either. You know what I'm saying? A lot of main characters do too much and they're very corny. Ichigo is not by any means corny, and he is very just chill and lax, and that's what I really like. So would I say that he's my favorite? I could easily say that Ichigo could be my favorite MC, so I'm gonna keep him in here for now. So I'm gonna keep Ichigo in here for now. So next I'm gonna look at Luffy. Luffy is definitely a contender, and that's no question. I really don't have to go into it just because of how much depth One Piece has. So he's gonna be staying in here for now. Lelouch now. Going to Lelouch, I mean, this man is an absolute threat to the nation. You know what I'm saying? He is. Now, I always compare Lelouch to Light. So if I like one more than the other, then obviously the other one would have to be negated. So I'm just going to compare them really quick. And if I were to pick between Light and Lelouch, I think I'm going to take Light. Not only because I like Death Note a little bit more, but I think Light is a little more deeper as a character. Like, he has a little more depth to his character, and he has a lot more suspenseful type of plays, right? With Lelouch, the type of plays that he makes, the one with Euphemia, I'm not even gonna talk about that one. If you haven't seen Code Geass with the Euphemia thing, that was kind of insane and accidental. But Lelouch, he's like playing a game of chess, right? Which is, he always makes, I'm pretty sure they make that reference a lot in the show. With Light, it's not like chess, it's more so of a back and forth, which I kind of like more. Like him and L is more so of a back and forth type of battle, and it is a lot more enjoyable. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take Light though over Lelouch, so I'm gonna eliminate Lelouch just because I like Light more. So now talking about Light, if I'm comparing Light to these characters, he's really good. You know, if anyone has seen Death Note, you know that Light is a really good character and he's almost uncontested. So damn. Now I'm looking at characters that I haven't eliminated: Thorfinn and Kaneki, however you say the name. I get clowned for this all the time. I really like Thorfinn as a main character. I'm gonna go back to Light, by the way. But I really like Thorfinn as a main character. I really like him as a main character, but he hasn't had enough development. He really hasn't, right? So there's no possible way I could say he's my favorite MC of all time so far, right? And now going to Kaneki, I heard the manga's really good, and I heard in the manga he is a top tier, and I think in the show he is definitely up there too. But to me, it's like, since I wasn't able to get that closure with the show that I felt like I should have, and especially with what happened with Vree, which I didn't even watch, but I heard what happened with it, I feel like there's just too much mystery for me, and there's too many what ifs. Like, what if he does this? What if he does that? And I don't want to kind of invest myself into it. So for now, he couldn't be my favorite MC. And then there's Naruto, who I really like. These are from like, there are obviously shows that I've seen. There are obviously more shows that I've seen, for example, like Haikyuu, Food Wars, Kame ga Kill, you know what I'm saying? But none of those MCs really would be on this list for me anyway, so I just didn't even include them. But Naruto, while the show is a top 3 for me, I couldn't say that Naruto is my favorite MC, because I like Ichigo more than Naruto. So if that's the case, you know what I'm saying, Naruto, there's no way Naruto can be my favorite MC of all time if I already like Ichigo more. So with that being said, that leaves us with Light, Ichigo, Luffy, Asta, and Eren, right? So the final five. Okay, so I'm looking at this list right now, and I'm thinking of a couple things. I'm thinking of personality. I'm just gonna go off personality first. Whose personality on this list do I like the most? And if I were going straight up personality, I would have to go with Ichigo and Luffy. Ichigo or Luffy, I like both their personalities equally, right? So now I'm kind of just gonna look at depth. If we're assessing it off of depth, there's probably Luffy and Eren. So Luffy's probably going to be staying for right now. And with development also, I mean, Asta is really developed. All of these characters really developed over time. Now Light's development was more so in a negative manner, and he started becoming a little psycho, you know what I'm saying? But he was great. But when I think of MC, like if I think of main character, right? You would probably think of like one of your favorites or someone you really like. And when I think of main character, just the word main character for anime, I don't think of Light. And I never really think of Light. Light's always like a runner up. So I think I'm going to take him out. While he is a top tier MC, I think I'm going to take him out. And I know I had an anime main character list, and I don't remember if that was all my opinion. I'm pretty sure that were other people's opinions integrated in that tier list that I did. And if what I'm saying now doesn't correlate, then that's my fault. But now we got 4. Eren, Asta, Luffy, Ichigo. So thinking of Eren, right? I think Eren right now is an absolutely terrific MC. But overall, seasons 1 through 3, the show was... I did find him annoying a lot of the time, and the show did a good job on focusing on a lot of other aspects other than the main character, that it didn't seem so centered around the main character, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that I won't like the main character, but you know, like I didn't feel while there was a lot of development for Aaron, I feel like I didn't get enough time to like him enough to where I would say he's my favorite. Because again, as I said, you have to take into consideration personality and just how you like them as a person. Like if I'm talking to you, if I'm looking at these main characters, I would like to be able to like be friends with them in real life, you know, and like be motivated by what they do and enjoy how they live their life and look up to them, sort of. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Aaron, while he was a very motivated person, I just wasn't feeling that from him altogether. Even though I love his development in depth, I don't think he would be my favorite. He's up there. He wouldn't be my favorite. Now we got Ichigo, Luffy, and Asta, who I think are all three completely different characters. Asta is a loudmouth who's just motivated and who thinks he could conquer the world given work. Luffy is a pirate on an adventure who has a great sense of comedy, who really doesn't care what other people say, and he's just going to do what he wants to do. And then Ichigo is just a laid back, strong willed individual who gets business done. Simple as that. Now, this is really, really hard. I'm not going to lie to you, right? Because I really want to just go Luffy. I really want to go Luffy because I just like One Piece more. Who's developed more, man? Really, I really just have to look at that. Who's developed more? I gotta base it off of that right now. Luffy's obviously developed the most out of these three. And now that I think about it, I'm basing my decision off of Luffy. So then therefore Luffy would just have to be my favorite. Does that, like, even if I picked Asta, for example, over Ichigo, I would probably have to pick Luffy over Asta because I just think Luffy has a lot more going. And I feel like Luffy is such a basic answer too. But it's like for the people who haven't seen One Piece, they're really not going to even think that Luffy's like all that. And it's just like seeing where Luffy started to where he is now and how much of an absolute animal he is while still being able to like joke around and be a very comedic MC, but can also have that serious side to him. It's just a very good balance I think that he has. And I feel like Asta, while he gets serious in fights, Asta's definitely a lot more comedic 100% of the time. No, Luffy is too. I don't know. And Ichigo doesn't really get like funny. He'll just have like his little outburst, you know, like if he's shocked or something. But I mean, I really like Ichigo too, and I really like Asta. If I were, honestly, I would probably tie Asta and Ichigo. I really don't think I would take one over the other, but I think I'm definitely gonna give Luffy the edge. And I know for the amount of talking that I did, it's like, he said fucking Luffy. You know what I'm saying? But after narrowing it down for real, like I don't think there's any other option that I could go with. In my opinion, I think that he is just the best with the best show. Obviously, I feel like One Piece is the best show with the best MC. But obviously, that's just my opinion. Because as I said, if Asta goes crazy in Black Clover, I may end up liking Asta more than Luffy with how close I was just considering it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Asta and Ichigo are far off from Luffy, but I feel like what Luffy has done so far and just the type of character that he is, he's the embodiment of like everything that you would want in an MC, you know? And I don't think it is debatable, at least for me, but obviously for other people it is. But yeah, so all time, I think Luffy is definitely my favorite MC so far. And then Ichigo and Asta would be a close second, tied up there. Third would be Light. Fourth, Aaron. No, third would be Aaron. Fourth, Light. And then fifth, I don't even know who I'd have in fifth. But I mean, I guess in theory that would be my five right there. Those five would be my top five. Okay, those five would be my top five, somewhat interchangeable depending on what happens. But Luffy is definitely at the top right now. So yeah, that's really it. Maybe I'll do my favorite villain next. I think I should talk about my favorite villain. Who's my favorite villain? But yeah, Luffy's the best MC in my opinion in all of anime. And yeah, that's it.